right. Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We're going to be doing something a little bit different for this deep dive.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a little more, I guess, introspective. A little more, I guess, thinking about our own journeys as, researchers and folks in the education field.
I like it. Sounds good.
So we're going to be talking about Zeal.
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 Okay.
So when you hear that word, what's like the first thing that comes to mind?
I guess I think of like passion,
Yeah.
excitement, drive. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty spot on. And the excerpt we're looking at today, that's kind of how they define it.
Yeah.
It's that passion that drives you, that brought you to education in the first place. Like, we all had that moment where we were like, this is it. This is what I want to dedicate myself to.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting to think back to that, especially when we're, talking about doing something as challenging as a dissertation.
Absolutely.
I mean, you really have to tap into that initial spark, that zeal, to get you through something like that.
Right. And the source really emphasizes this idea of finding the sweet spot where your personal passion meets a critical need in education.
Mm-hmm.
It even poses this question: how can you find the intersection of your passion and the pressing educational questions of our time?
That's such a great question. It's not just about having passion, it's about channeling it towards something meaningful, something that can really make a difference.
Yeah, and then I think for a lot of us, that passion comes from our own experiences, our own observations of things that maybe aren't working as well as they could be in the education system.
Totally. I mean, for me, it was seeing how standardized testing was like really negatively impacting students' creativity and love of learning.
Hmm.
That's what really lit a fire under me to research alternative assessment methods.
Yeah, and for me, it was I was really fascinated by the achievement gap in early literacy.
Mm-hmm.
Why were some kids just like soaring ahead
Yeah.
while others were struggling to keep up? So that, led me down this whole rabbit hole of research on phonics programs and their effectiveness for different learners.
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of aligning your fire with a real need in education.
Right.
And the source really argues that that's what gives research its power, its meaning. It's letting your research be a testament to both your passion and your commitment to a better future for learners.
Absolutely. But, I think the question then becomes like, how do we actually translate that passion into something tangible?
Mm.
Like how do we go from a burning question to a solid research question, a methodology, a study that actually like moves the needle?
Yeah. Right. It's not always easy, Research can be tough. There are roadblocks. There are times when you start questioning everything, but that's where the passion comes in.
Right.
It's that fuel that keeps you going. It pushes you to dig deeper, analyze more critically, and keep refining your approach until you get it right.
Yeah, it's almost like that passion gives you that extra resilience you need, especially, when you're like knee deep in data analysis or struggling to articulate some really complex concept.
Totally. And you know what else helps with that resilience?
What's that?
Your support system.
Oh, absolutely. The source talks a lot about that too.
Yeah.
About the importance of engaging with your colleagues, with your mentors, bouncing ideas around, seeking feedback, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just about getting help with the technical aspects of the research. It's also about having people who understand what you're going through, who can offer encouragement and support when you're feeling burnt out or discouraged.
Yeah, sometimes just talking it out with someone who like gets it can really rekindle that spark, that initial zeal.
Exactly.
So as we kind of, wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to that question that the source posed.
Oh yeah, the one about finding the intersection of our passion and the pressing educational questions of our time.
Exactly. What specific challenge are you most passionate about tackling?
Right.
And how can your research contribute to finding solutions and driving positive change in the field?
Those are questions that we all need to be asking ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us on this, I guess, a slightly more reflective deep dive.
Yeah, this was a good one.
We hope you leave feeling inspired and ready to make a difference.
And don't forget to keep that fire burning.
We'll see you in the next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.